Yeah, I think he had an accident while he was at the meeting. But I think, I hear you, I'm by no means saying you shouldn't do satire accounts, but I think that the idea of setting up a satire account, especially one that can be very convincing, creates some externalities, some unintended consequences of people thinking it's real and the implications of that. And so given that, and you've had this chance to kind of do one of these satire accounts, maybe more than one in the past, and the question is, given that you want to try to use it to both make things funny, but also to raise questions in a way that drives the conversation forward. What lessons did you learn in this process of how to be better at doing that so that you would avoid this idea of misleading people with your humor?
Well, if someone took it seriously, obviously they didn't see it as humor. I mean, that goes without saying. I think that people need to be, more skeptical about everything they read, including from sources that always purport to be honest. I don't know if I've learned any lessons from it. I think I gained a lot of insight into the kind of people that are willing to believe very serious and very outlandish conspiracy theories, which I've understood from the very beginning is very much it's
common America.
It's the Ron Paul crowd. I learned a lot more about them, and people who complain about the Council of Rome or things as bizarre and completely incredible as weather control. I mean, frankly, the kind of people who really humor that sort of thing, they're being duped by people who are trying to dupe them, like Alex Jones. I mean, even Naomi Wolf has been on her Facebook page hypothesizing that this guy is some sort of political surrogate, which is, I think, utterly absurd. And it's a big business. It's a big business. And it taught me what a big business, the conspiracy business, really is.
Interesting. What is your, after doing this and obviously covering the story more generally, what is your impression of Snowden? Is he, should everything he said be taken as completely accurate? Is he trying to mix in some whistleblowing with some self-promotion? Or is he totally full of smoke?
Well, given that you and I can only speculate on the materials that he wanted released, which we just do not have access to, I mean, those are locked up at the Post and the Guardian and the NSA, I really can't wholly judge whether what he would have us see or supposedly would have us see is really in the public interest. I certainly think the slides that the Guardian and the Post, to their credit, have released are very much in the public's interest of right to know. There's no doubt about it. But, can I assess information I don't have that it's in the public good? No. And I will certainly be, I'm very skeptical of the notion that he would, he has not published this information in some other outlet, which he could do in some way, in some other outlet. And, it appears, and I can only speculate about this, that he is using it for assuring his own safety. Is it like Manning? I praised Manning quite a bit on the account, but is it exactly like Manning? No, I mean, Manning gave it to everybody. And I think that's at least a more admirable goal than should Mr. Snowden choose to use it to gain credit or leverage with a foreign government that will harbor him.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. The idea that Manning and Ellsberg both took actions to make sure that their materials that they were revealing were publicly accessible, regardless of what the authorities and the media who they were relying on chose to do, is a big difference. That, as you say, is yet to be determined whether that's the route that Snowden will take.
Hello?
Oh, hi. So I thought I heard Daniel talking, so.
There at this point, folks. Got to wrap up that segment. But Alan, thanks so much for joining us as always. A fascinating segment. You really did help illuminate some of the subtleties there, distinction between Manning and Ellsberg and Snowden. And Tyler, thank you for joining us and sharing the story behind that Twitter account that so many of us found entertaining and controversial.
Well, great. I was glad to be on, and I'd like to give credit to other correspondents who helped, with the Greenwild account and with this account a little bit. That would be James Cochran of the Internet Chronicle, as well as Billy Walsh.
And Tyler, I just want to commend you on your use of the word panopticon.
Thank you.
We
Thank you.
all
also-
love some Jeremy Bentham and Michel Foucault. Coming up next on Take Action News, we're going to have our activist of the week, Michael Petit. He's the president of Every Child Matters. You're going to want to stick around for this. Take Action News continues.